temporary, but it's another person who does microfighter builds, and they're very, very good at it. And so they post that picture, and they had done this like 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm like, yeah, thanks for that. That's like, yeah, that's a really good X-Men cover that you did, but it should look more like this, and then post a picture of like a Jim Lee cover. It's like, really? Oh, I was so frustrated. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's no good. Anyway, that was a bad day. It's one of those like low self-esteem days where I'm just like, you know what, screw everybody. All right, but I'm much better now, and I'm glad that I'm with you all here on this lovely Thursday afternoon, evening, night. Look at that. That's some old school hinges right there. Yeah, that was the other movie I watched was Cars. I hadn't seen Cars 2. So, of course, that's some good old school hinges right there. That's 12. That's another... Yikes. Run out of these. These are all 12? Yeah. And of course, I tell that to nobody in the chat, further adding to the issue. Oh good, this yellow and white is going to be covered up. This isn't as big as I remembered it. I remember this being a giant set, but this isn't as big as I thought. I remember it being a huge... I mean, it was the biggest of the M-Tron sets. That's for dang sure. But, it is not as big as I remember. Uh-oh, Avs are losing. First period. Anywho. Alright, so step 4. This is great. Step 4. Wow, that is not... Oh, I hope that gets built over. Okay, good, it does, because that is not... That comes right off. Alright, so this is... I have to go through and check. So I have to do... Oh, those guys. Do I have 2 of those guys in black? Oh, the song is great. The soundtrack is getting it. Uh-oh. Also 2 of those. I would have missed those. I feel like I'm at the end of Contra or something. I'm loving it. Oh, this is brilliant. Look at that. Put together already. Bam. Yeah, these I can tell these are all old pieces because they're not gripping too well together. What's up? What the hops? Thanks for coming by, man. And thanks for the host, Goldie. Not much. So here's what... To recap for you guys, since you're just joining, I'm taking an old set, Mega Core Magnetizer, from, I don't know, 95, 96, something like that, and I'm building it in a different style. So it's a redesign of an old set, so that's what I'm working on. And I'm drinking these, and I'm going to go to full camera so you can see. It's just a Carbach, but it's the Hellfighter. I have yet to have these, and so far they're delicious. Little boozy, but... So it came in a variety pack, and you get the original and the bourbon barrel. And then I think there's a mole, too. So I'm very much enjoying these. Thanks for the host. I appreciate that. I'm just sifting through parts right now, because it's not like I've got a bag of parts that I can choose from. I have to look for them. Let's go back to the build camera. So I have to look for, and you can tell, oh my god, you can tell how dusty. Oh, look at that. Look how dusty that is. But it's the part I need. May not be the part I deserve, but it's the part I need. Do I just need one? I think so. Yeah, just one. Right there. Bam. So I can put that drawer back. Kitty is keeping me company. Hey, Kitty. You want to come up here? Come here. Nope. All right. F you then. So, hey Goldie, did you get your thing saying that you had to be, you had to prove by law that, and I know you guys don't necessarily go straight to YouTube, you're a mixer group, or you're a mixer primarily, but did you get the thing from YouTube saying, we've got new kid laws, and if you have to be explicitly for a channel for kids or not? And I'm like, well, I build Lego, but I also swear and drink beer, so not? So that's what I had to pick. Just wondering, of course, if you had to do that. I'm sure you did. And if you didn't, you're going to get a thing that says, yep, you got to do that. All right, so we're on to here now. I need a black one of those. I got a stack of them. So one of those. Oh, look at that. Look at these guys. All right, so here's another one. We need, camera's going to go away a second because I'm going to need red. Ooh, I don't know if I have those. Bumping the camera. Watch out, y'all. It's getting crazy in here. Got a lot of tan. I don't know if you can see that, but the Capitol, I ended up with a lot of extra parts. Oh, crime and idly. I got a lot of extra parts from doing the Capitol. And, oh, there's a part stuck in there, too. Oh, well. They're gone forever now. Some of them I've sorted back into other piles, and some I haven't. But, okay, there we go. So, yeah, there's a lot of tan because I had a lot of tan for the Capitol. So, I did not, but I will be on the lookout. Put my stuff at 18 whenever I upload. Yeah, I think I should just do that. I mean, it's not necessarily 18 and up. I try not to be too vulgar, but every once in a while an F-bomb will slip out, and of course every time I do that I'm like, demonetized, which I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter. Alright, there's that. Got a good piece there. So how you guys doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, other than watching your channels, I haven't actually physically seen you. Oh goodness, there's a whole sub-assembly here. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Do I have all that? Just yanked on the cable. So this is what everybody gets to see, how much crap that I've actually got. So I'm looking for a white one. It's way down at the bottom here. There's that. And then I need the spiny bit. So I'm hoping that because I'm not 18 or up, that I am not, because I'll tell you what, I just cannot figure out, I've been doing this now I started in April, and I cannot figure out how to get more people to subscribe, hang out, watch. I realize that 90-minute Lego building while drinking beer is not a huge thing, but there's literally another guy doing it, and does pretty well for himself. So I'm just like, I'm not complaining. I love all the subscribers I've got. I really appreciate y'all being here. I'm just saying, trying to get it over that next level. And I think just having regular videos is going to help eventually. I'm just going to do some regular builds and have like short 5-minute videos to get more people interested. Let's see, 6x6. Oh, I don't think I'm going to have that one. So here's another drawer full of stuff that I need to look through. White 6x6 square. This may not happen. Oh, perfect. Look at that. And then 2 3x3s. Oh, this song is awesome. I don't know what this is, but this is effing rad. So I'm going to try to keep the yellowed whites as much out of this as I can. But I know at some point that's not going to be a possibility. So that's gonna go there. Oh my God, that's gonna have to be built on. That's loose as heck. Hey, Hops and Goldie, do you guys have Disney Plus? Do you have it? Are you watching it? It's super cool. I've already spent. It's already worth the $6, $7 a month for me. I already watched The Mandalorian and a couple other movies. Beth's watched like most of The Simpsons. Oh, by the way, I was stupid and I was at a convention at Comic-Con and I made no mention of this channel. Like, I have no idea why I didn't say it. They're like, where can they find you online? I'm like, well, you can just look up Ben Rollman, and I got like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. Whatever. Anywho, moving on. Back to this drawer. The giant lights. How big is that? I gotta count these parts. You gotta count these studs now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Is that 12? 6. Yeah. Ew, that's gross too. I'm glad that's gonna get covered. Oh wait. That's better. So some of the older parts that I have are definitely yellowed because they've just seen so much ambient indirect light. And oddly enough, the way to fix it, yes, The Mandalorian is fucking awesome. Well, okay, it was good. I won't say it was effing awesome. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to do more of it. Let's see, this goes like that. What was I talking about? Oh, no, that wasn't it. Completely lost my train of thought. Somebody help me out. I was talking about... Oh, so these little bits, these little white pieces, white brick, can get yellowed if you leave them in indirect light too long. Not direct sunlight, indirect sunlight. So if they're sitting in a window and it's not direct sunlight shining on them. That's another one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yikes. And the way to fix it... 2, 4, 6, no. The way to fix a yellowed piece, that's 8, is to put it in hydrogen peroxide and put it in direct sunlight. So if you have a bit of yellow Lego, and Lego people will know this already, but I just think it's funny, and I'm sharing it with people. Gotta pull this out again, sorry. I'm sharing it with people that I think the idea that hydrogen peroxide plus sunlight makes it better. It's just hilarious. 12. I may not have this piece. That's 8. 10. Alright. This music is kicking it. I love it. So yeah, Comic-Con was kind of fun. I'm glad we went. Because I was able to speak on a panel, I got tickets and we were able to see a couple more panels and then kind of walk around the floor. It hit right as we were, what am I trying to say? Right in between pay periods. So we weren't able to really go and buy anything or, go to like the after party stuff, but it was a good time. So I'm glad I did it. And the guy who did it, who was the kind of the MC, it was just me and him, and he had done the whole thing he was there for was a panel about the supernatural, and then a friend of mine. So here's the story. I get a call from a friend of mine who runs a podcast called the Night Owl Podcast, which got Best Podcast from Austin, Best of Austin Podcast for 2019. His name is Stephen Ballou. We know each other from way back in the Austin Film Festival days. And I helped him do some storyboard art for a film he was doing, which really never went anywhere. And honestly, my storyboards were not great compared to everybody else who was working with him. I think I need to do that next. So I don't know where those pieces are. I just had a brain fart. Anyway, he calls me and says, I'm doing this panel, and then there's this guy who's doing it, that I'm doing it with, who then also has another panel about the end of the Skywalker saga. And he wanted to, or about a Star Wars panel, and he wanted to know if I knew anybody who was a Star Wars nerd. And I was like, well, I'm not, but I know a guy who is. Dude, these are so gross. So this is a good example. I don't know if you can see this. See how one is like really yellowed out. Oh, that's so gross. Luckily, it's going to be behind this, so you probably won't be able to see it. Still going to put it on there unless I can find another one. Anyway, so I was like, yeah. He's like, what are you doing Saturday? And I'm like, well, I've got like an hour or two in the middle of the day. And he's like, perfect, that's when this thing is. And I'm like, really? So I met the guy like right before the panel started, and we just sat up on stage and talked for 45 minutes about Star Wars stuff. You know, that's kind of it. No big. And he's a cool guy. So we hung out with the person that he kind of hooked up with here, who lives in San Antonio, who does like haunted investigations and stuff like that. So her and Beth are now friends on Facebook, and are gonna like, when she's like, whenever you guys go to do investigations and stuff, please let me know. So she's gonna go with him. So it was a very fruitful Comic-Con, and I liked it a lot. So I'm glad I went. And we got passes out of it, so it was cool to like go hang out a little bit and see some stuff. We ran into Meredith. And so here's a great story, and nobody's here to watch it, so I don't know why I'm telling it, but yay. Moving on. Uh-oh. See, yeah, these are not, oh, that's going to be bad. So loose. There's a guy there that I don't know. Make sure we're good. That he was in a bunch of movies, and oh wait, build. Beth knows him. Melissa might know him. Goldie, you might know who this is. Was in Angels in the Rookie of the Year, and a kid in King Arthur's Court. And so he was the kid, basically. He was a child actor. And, they have a lot of these people on a big, long stretch of tables, and each one has a little aisle that you go down, and you pay for an autograph, or you pay for a photo, or whatever. Not like the big names that show up, but like kind of the B, C class kind of stars who were in something a long time ago, or just, are lesser known. So you don't wait in a huge line. So there's nobody in these lines. So we ran into Meredith and her cousin, and we walked down one of these aisles, and there's nobody there. And they were just looking at the stuff that's on the table, and the photos, and it's like, oh, I remember him, and blah, blah, blah. And Beth says, oh, I was so in love with him. When I was a kid, I was so in love with him. And he comes out from behind the curtain, which is behind the tables, and says, you rang. At which point Beth squeals and tries to run away. And Meredith holds her and says, no, let's go talk to him. So we sat there and talked to him for a few minutes. And I missed this whole thing. Like, I was on my phone looking up the dude going, I never saw these movies. I was in high school or college when these movies came out. So it's like I kind of missed. I wasn't the target demographic. So I was trying to look it up and see who he was. And I was looking at somebody next to it, and I was trying to figure out, so I missed it. But he was super nice. Apparently he was the DJ at the silent disco the night before. He had some whiskey there. He's like, you guys should try some of this whiskey. And it was peanut butter flavored whiskey. Oh man, it was really good. But anyway, he's a very cool guy. It was a very fun story to tell about our experience at Comic-Con. So there we go. So it was totally worth it. And I know we wanted to go, like we officially wanted to go. But it was one of those where it's like we got to save for X, and we weren't able to do all the stuff we wanted. So, all right, building. Let's keep building. So I like having all my parts next to me. That's kind of fun. I feel like this is very painterly, like I'm just reaching around getting the colors I need off the palette. So and I haven't really built something of my own in a long time, so this is kind of fun. I say that. I just got done a couple months ago building the 60,000 piece behemoth. Yeah, I'm so out of practice of building stuff. But it's still nice to just be able to kind of like go through and build what you see in the instructions. And old school instructions, man. Old school instructions. None of this hand-holding stuff. Just get in there and start building. And if you miss a piece, you miss a piece. Yeah, it was a very good experience, and I want to go again. I think I like going to the local, to the Austin Comic-Con, because I feel like not a giant amount of people go, and it's not a huge amount of stars and stuff like that. It's still kind of, despite Austin being kind of a big city, it's not New York, it's not LA, it's not Chicago. So being able to like go and like just kind of wander around and not feel like you're overwhelmed, that's a big positive. So it was very good. I'm glad we went. I do wish we could have done more stuff. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to get. There was I wear these shirts, not these shirts, but there's they're called club shirts or maxi print shirts. They're like button-up shirts, and they're short sleeve, and they've got a print that goes all over them. And I have like an X-Men one, and a Dragon Ball Z one, and a Spider-Man, and a Decepticon one, and I think that's it. But there was a guy there, and Meredith sent me a picture of it and was like, "Here's all your shirts," and I'm like, "Oh, they're like $75 each." But I want 3 of them. There's another Dragon Ball one I want, an Optimus Prime one, Superman one. It's super cool. I'm glad I was saved. So I got, I was like, I'm here between paychecks, dude, but I really want one of these shirts. So give me your card so I can email you later when I have money so I can buy a shirt from you. And he's like, yeah, sure. And if it doesn't fit, you just give us the size and we'll, my daughter's a seamstress or whatever and then they said a city that I didn't recognize. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. I don't think I've got that piece. Oh wait, yeah, maybe I do. All right. Ooh, this beer is boozy. Are y'all leaving? Yeah. Bye, Dan and Dara.
Say goodbye, Ben.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Rest up because I'm gonna let you have one of these and they'll mess you up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. This one is I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm already done. So that's Dan and Dara. They live next door. They're very cool. They're big nerds like we are. All right, let's start at the beginning here. Let's do. Oh yeah, that I'm a little out of practice. That 11. What is it? 11.5%. 11.8% ABV. That's rough, yo. This is why I have to say that I am not a child YouTube account. because I'm about to start, I don't know, swearing. And I'm already drinking. All these yellowed white pieces. Ooh, 1x6. 1x1. Okay. Excuse the movements. All right. Also, I had to make cookies today, so my shirt is covered in flour. Tomorrow is National Spicy Hermit Cookie Day. Spicy Hermit Cookie Day. Spicy Hermit cookies are apparently they're just like, it's like an oatmeal raisin cookie. It's like a souped up oatmeal raisin cookie, but you put in like allspice or cloves, ground clove, and then instead of just raisins, you can put in cranberries and walnuts or currants. It's like a fall or Christmas kind of cookie. So I made a batch of them tonight so I could have them tomorrow because I do a thing where I write on a whiteboard like what the day is. Like there's a calendar that's like, today is National Vat Full of Milk Day or something, and you're like, really? It's not. But so I'll draw those, just kind of be fun. I am not going to get through another one of those tonight. That's going to be harsh. All right, I think that's good. Moving on to this one. Ooh, another one of those connectors. So anyway, everyone's like, what the heck is a spicy hermit crab whatever? And I'm like, no. Spicy hermit cookie. Like, yes, but what is that? I'm like, I don't have any idea. I'm going to look up a recipe. And so someone suggested, we should have a taste test of that. I'm like, all right, we will. So I went and got the ingredients, and I baked them in it, and they're not terrible. They're not bad. They're not terrible. I mean, they're not awesome. I would rather have a chocolate chip cookie or a snickerdoodles or a peanut butter cookie, but, whatever. All right, so these two pieces right here are going to be a bit of a search. Or maybe not. Maybe having everything organized right here. Just going to reach it. Work the core. I love these old school things, like just the seats. They're just very simple. Nope. Like those. I'm totally in everybody's way, and I apologize. But this is where my 1x1 clips live, in this little drawer. All of them, even these guys, 1x1 clip. Oh, it needs to be flat. Oh, jeez, I need to pull this out. Okay. Oh, now I find them like immediately. It's funny too, from sorting all my stuff, the drawers are like, the older stuff goes in, you can tell like the older stuff is in the back, just because of the way that, everything gets put in. So anytime I'm like, well, this is an older type of piece, that goes in the back somewhere. So, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an 8. So we need 2 8s. If anybody's interested in seeing what the build space looks like, just let me know, and I will. Oh goodness, it's got bumped all over the place. I'll take some photos, put them on Instagram or something. It's not by any means pretty, but it's it's functional. All right, so let's. I know some people get off on like seeing spaces like that. So I may call it pretty soon. I know it's only 9:30, or it's only 9 o'clock-ish, but I'm hungry and I didn't eat dinner. And there are people that are still here, and I feel like I should go be a good host. So, 8. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get through this kind of step here and then probably kill it. So again, I'm going to try to get something for Sunday. I'll get another set for Beth to build because I think people like seeing that and seeing us rap about something. So I'll try to find another set for her to look at and put together while we're bantering. And oh goodness, do I even have any of those? You know, some little $20 sets or something like that. Come on. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who came by and said hi. It was very nice of you. If you haven't, go check out What's the Hops. They're over on there on Mixer saying hi. They What's the Hops does a beer podcast. And they talk about beer news and events going on in the brewing world. And they go to all the events and they're not conferences, festivals. They go to all the beer festivals. They check out new brews and they check out new breweries. It's a fun thing. Check them out. Also, another host was Goldilocks and the Bear. They're over on Mixer as well, but you can catch them on Twitch and YouTube. They are a comedy duo for the most part, but they also kind of do one-off stuff from themselves, and they play a lot of video games and they watch a lot of reality TV, but they do their own scripted stuff and unscripted stuff. So check them out. If you get a chance. They've hosted me tonight, and I really appreciate that. And I cannot find this tile. Oh, there's another one. Look at that. Not supposed to be in there. Yeah, sometimes these littler tiles get shoveled down to the bottom. And it's hard to find them. So apparently black tiles are very hard to find. Thought I had more of those. Oh. It's gone now, kids. So again, yeah, I probably work on this on my own time. This isn't super awesome viewing material, but it works. It gets the job done. And I think we'll try to do some more either design work or get Beth back in here so we can banter and chat and maybe bring in the puppy. And I know people like to see a puppy. But again, okay, so this is what was drank tonight. This is the, I'm going to put this away and then we're just going to close up, I think. I'm done. So, thanks for coming by, everybody. It was good talking to you. We'll see you on Thursday, and have a good night.